Nationwide uprising continues in Iran despite ruthless suppression. Despite widespread killings, the Iranian people's nationwide uprising passed its fifth day. This is while the IRGC, the paramilitary Bassij, State Security Force, and the Ministry of Intelligence and Security, other suppressive organs, and even the regular army are on full alert. In Tehran, protests and clashes between the people and the suppressive forces resumed today. In Shiraz, helicopters fired on the protesters from the air, killing a female high school student. When the rebellious youths attacked a paramilitary Bassij base, many were killed by 50 caliber heavy machine guns. Iranian resistance leader Maryam Rajavi hailed the arisen people of Iran and urged the world to condemn the regime's crimes and recognize the right of the Iranian people to topple the religious, murderous fascism ruling Iran. 3 women killed in crackdown on Iran protests. The Iranian regime killed at least 3 women in Bassij and Shiraz. On Monday night, 2 women got killed by heavy machine guns when people clashed with suppressive forces in Bassij, Khuzestan province. On Tuesday, a young female student was targeted by a state security force helicopter. Iran protests continued for a 5th day on Tuesday, despite extensive bloody crackdown by the clerical regime's security forces, who have been on full alert. In Kermanshah, a woman by the name of Paris Selfie was among those arrested. Paris was arrested in Sanadaj, where she lives. Iran's top officials gave green light to crush protests. On Tuesday, Amnesty International condemned the ongoing crackdown of the peaceful protests in Iran. On its website, Amnesty wrote, "Verified video footage, eyewitness testimony from people on the ground, and information gathered from human rights activists outside Iran reveal a harrowing pattern of unlawful killings by Iranian security forces, which have used excessive and lethal force to crush largely peaceful protests in more than 100 cities across Iran, sparked by a hike in fuel prices on 15th November. At least 106 protesters in 21 cities have been killed, according to credible reports received by Amnesty. The organization believes that the real death toll may be much higher, with some reports suggesting as many as 200 have been killed. Top government officials, including Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, have issued statements describing protesters as villains and giving security forces a green light to crush demonstrations. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights condemned Iran regime's crackdown on protests. On Tuesday, Rupert Colville, the spokesperson for the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, expressed concerns over increasing death toll and Iran regime's ongoing crackdown on protests in a press release. The statement read, "We are deeply concerned by reported violations of international norms and standards on the use of force, including the firing of live ammunition against demonstrators in Iran during the protests that began on Friday and have continued into this week. We are especially alarmed that the use of live ammunition has allegedly caused a significant number of deaths across the country." Referring to the regime's total blockade of the internet, the statement added, "We also call on the government to immediately re-establish Iranians' access to the internet as well as other forms of communication which allow for freedom of expression and access to information."